Hello everyone, welcome to I guess our second stream for Gen Con Online. This is kind of like a last-ish minute casual kind of stream. We're going to go over if we can get it working, we'll watch the opening ceremonies, then we'll go rip through the looking glass, or maybe not care about the opening ceremonies and just look through the looking glass, which is a feature of Gen Con Online. If you guys aren't sure what Gen Con Online is, due to the pandemic, the COVID outbreak, all that kind of stuff, no conventions for gaming this year, it seems, so far. So Gen Con is the largest tabletop gaming convention in North America. Every year, happens in late July, early August usually, and is in Indianapolis. And we usually head down there. It's a great time. Lots of game announcements, lots of new demos, upcoming Kickstarter stuff, lots of new games to buy before they're in stores. All this crazy stuff. What are your predictions on the stability of the stream? Yeah, I was trolling FFG today in their Marvel Champions stream. I was like, pray to the stream gods that the stream doesn't crash or something like that. And they were like, yep, the guy on the chat was like, spent all morning rebuilding the streaming setup software, whatever. So hopefully it's more stable for the rest of the weekend. So hopefully they got their things in order, but I'm sure there was mass panic there. And we can talk a little bit about the FFG stuff that was announced. Late last night, I stayed up. I was going to go to bed, and I was like, no. There's a chance they could get this uploaded to the YouTube channel in time. And just as I was about to go to bed, I got a notification on my phone. I was about to plug it in the charger and roll over, and then I saw, boop, Twitter notification. FFG posted, said, yep, here's the upload. So I stayed up, I watched it, quickly posted it in our Discord, but I couldn't stay up. And I knew if I kept chatting and stuff, I'd be up all night. But they spoiled some stuff. Some new games coming out. There's some good announcements. It sucks that they saved all the board game and card game stuff for the end of the stream where it went down and they didn't do it live. So it was kind of sad to watch it on YouTube later when they were like unveiling things, which would have been crazy having a live chat going for that. It would have been super fun to have reactions to that and chat with you guys on the fly, but we'll chat later tonight. We have our scheduled live stream that we scheduled a couple days ago tonight, where we're going to just discuss all the things we saw today, all the stuff from Gen Con day one, anything you saw, anything we saw. We'll just discuss some random things, some new game announcements, anything like that. It'll just be a casual stream like this one, where Mel and I will be here for that one, tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a watch party where you can come and chat. We're going to watch the Chip Theory Games new 2020 Kickstarter project announcement, which they were already teasing. I was just watching Chip Theory Games stream. They did like a morning stream with all three of the designers that work there. I don't know if there's other ones, but the main designers, Josh and Adam and Josh, and they were hinting that they have two other projects not related to Hoplomachus next year, the reboot, and not related to the project later this year. But they have two other games, one's larger, one's smaller, in the works. Some secret projects they're working on that they can't talk about right now. I hate when they do that. That kills me. But yeah, they already got some stuff cooking, and I'm sure they'll start teasing that stuff later in the year. So yeah, they're pumping out some stuff at Chip Theory Games. Hopefully it's all winners, and we'll get some good stuff coming down the line. But they've been teasing in Discord for a month. Oh man, I go in their Discord every now and then. I used to be in there more actively, but it's a cool place though. It's cool that you can have all the Chip Theory Games people in there commenting and replying. If you're a big Chip Theory Games fan, go hit up their Discord, because they've got channels for each of their games, and you can talk with diehard fans of all three games, and plus the creators of those games and employees from the company are always in there chatting too, which is super awesome. Yeah, I was heavily in there when I was trying to learn Too Many Bones and Cloudspire, and yeah, it was super helpful to just be in there and be like, hey, anyone, I'm trying to figure out this issue, and boom, I'd get replies, and then the company would reply, and fans would reply. It was super awesome. And hey, Kanjay. All right. So, did you see the Kickstarter update this morning mentioning something called Hero's Bounty? No, it did not. Or did I? No, I don't think I did, actually. Yeah, I watched a little bit of their stream this morning. But all I want to say, two things happened in the FFG stream last night, the Fantasy Flight Games, or YouTube upload of the not streamed announcement. Two things I was correct about. Descent was going to be mentioned, but I thought there would be more to it. And then the Marvel board game. I said it yesterday's stream, they'll take the Marvel license, they're going to do a board game. It was obvious. They do that with every IP whenever they get a new IP. They'll start with like a card game or a minis game or something, but they'll always have a board game coming. They always try to have every department at FFG take a shot at the new IP with something. So they'll try like a lighter game, a medium weight game, a full-fledged board game, a living card game of some type. They'll try a miniatures game, whatever. They always like dabble all over the place, which is cool. So when they got the Marvel license, I was super hyped, like the crazy stuff they'll come out with. And obviously Marvel Champions was first. And then I guess Asmodee kind of has that Marvel license. I don't know what it is, but they did that whole Atomic Mass or whatever company. Did the Crisis Protocol miniatures thing announced last year. And then we saw Cool Mini or Not, which is under the Asmodee umbrella. They also announced that Marvel United game. So you knew FFG was going to take a stab at it. Unfortunately, it looks like it's just a lighter co-op kind of game. But we'll take more look at that tonight in depth. But the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit was... nope. Why did it just do that? Why did it just jump? Oh my god. Had it lined up. I swear I did. Let's get it lined up again. I did not want to talk about Star Wars Legion. That's not what I was excited about. But at the end of the FFG stream, he pulled this big bad boy in. So this box looked insanely huge. I've analyzed it and I can see there's Act 1 in the bottom right corner. This is Descent Legends of the Dark. So I don't know who mentioned it yesterday, but somebody said this name leaked ahead of time. So they knew Descent Legends of the Dark was a product. I can't see the game design by, I don't know those names. I can't tell what they are. But all we know is it's Act 1 and it's in a giant box. It reminds me of like the Scythe Legendary box. It looks similar to that, where it's huge. It's a giant cube. So it's Act 1. So I'm assuming, and this is what I discussed when I thought that back when the Descent large project was being hinted at on an FFG stream last year, was that FFG needs to answer Gloomhaven. And I was wondering when the heck that would happen because it's been a while. But once Gloomhaven hit and it became a super success and it hit top of Board Game Geek, you know every company around is like, wait a second. Especially companies like FFG who've been doing dungeon crawling, fantasy games like that and tried their hand in it many times and are like, wait a second. Like that's the top game and it's not our game? So I was wondering when they were going to try to take that on and realize, wait, you can sell a giant box, 100 and something plus huge box with 90 something scenarios and tons of content, tons of cardboard, a little bit of miniatures, all this stuff. That's what FFG's specialty is. And then you see Cephalofair Games do it and then they like blow up. And it's like, I'm sure FFG was like, wait, no. We want to stab at that. And here it is. I think this is their answer to Gloomhaven. They're saying, hey, if they can do it, we can also do it. Because it's their bread and butter. So we'll see if they can take the Descent license, not even license, it's their own IP or whatever, their IP, and get it at Gloomhaven levels where people are willing to spend, I'm sure, way over $100 for this giant box, and it's only Act 1. So you know they're going to come out with expansions. I'm sure there's a big campaign book in here, lots of minis, all that stuff. I thought Descent would follow along with Journeys of Middle-earth 2. I thought it'd be similar to that. But this may not have an app at all. Maybe it does. Who knows? Maybe it's just like Gloomhaven and it's all just an AI run thing and all the components are in there. Who knows? But they're definitely trying to take a shot at that same market as like Gloomhaven and saying like, hey, we can do that for sure. And maybe they'll do better, but we'll see. I hope that's what they're doing, is trying to compete on the Gloomhaven level and give us something that's like meatier and deeper and than like Descent was. That's what I hope, but we'll see. But we can talk more about this on the later stream. So at 12 noon today, this feature from, let's see if we can go. Yeah, it keeps jumping around that. Where is it? So yeah, there's this feature. So if you go to gencon.online, that's the website for like the Gen Con landing page up here, you can see it. It describes everything that's involved in Gen Con. So just like previous Gen Cons, there's an event system. Obviously, all the events this year are not in person. They're all online. So you can go join in a role-playing game session. You can watch live streams of things. You can join tabletop gaming sessions on all different software platforms, assuming they're not sold out. But you do have to register for a free badge, and I don't know if you still can, but there is a button here to click for it, so I assume so. But you can sign up for a free badge, and you can sign up for events. There's still tons open. There's like over 6,000 events in the system. A lot of companies are doing like demos of their new games they're showing off and stuff like that. And that's the same kind of thing that happens at Gen Con in person. I've done that many times where I bought some generic tickets, walked around Gen Con, and went, oh, there's that new game I saw on the show floor. I'm in the gamer hall, and there's a guy from the company who's demoing it. And he's standing there, and you can tell he's starting to teach, and you walk up, and he goes, oh, guys, I have a couple spare seats at this table. You want to learn and sit down and play this brand new game that's not even out yet? And you're like, yeah, man. And you just sit down and play and have fun. So stuff like that's still happening, and it's in the event system. So the looking glass is what we're mainly looking at today. This simulates my favorite part of Gen Con, which is the dealer hall. I love when that dealer hall opens and they're yelling, do not run, and you walk as fast as you can into the dealer hall and you have your plan and your map and you're trying to get to whichever publisher's booth that has a limited copy of the game you're trying to get early that's not going to be in stores till October or November later in the year. So I boot it to FFG's booth or Cool Mini or Not's booth or man, so many booths over the years, but the big ones. Fantasy Flight Games one is the lineup that it builds the fastest. That or Paizo, who does Pathfinder, their booth gets destroyed with a huge line also. But yeah, I just love going in that dealer hall, smelling all the fresh cardboard, hearing all the noise, seeing all the lights, the cool art everywhere, the signs, all these publishers' names I know and I love, and seeing new games piled up everywhere. And people rushing to try to get limited copies or promos or demo the new game that they're curious about. And that's what the Looking Glass is supposed to simulate, is the exhibit hall. So they've gathered in this Looking Glass web app, software, whatever. Some way it says right there, you can find exhibitors, artists, authors, and other Gen Con Online partners through the Looking Glass, discover all the things they have to offer and a few other surprises. So suppose you can go in there and you can kind of browse as your publisher, or if you want to look at your favorite artist, or your favorite authors in there showing off some stuff, you can click on that and find more information, and it might lead you to their website or YouTube videos or Twitch streams, or I don't even know. I don't know. They've been like kind of teasing it, and I have it open here. This is what it clicks on through to. The Looking Glass is a reimagining of a virtual exhibit hall from Gen Con Online, a unique online visual discovery where you explore exhibitors, event organizers, artists, authors, and charity partners, and a few other surprises too. Our Gen Con Online partners have created a window into their corners of the universe, showcasing the many games, accessories, apparels, works of art, fiction, and events they're offering during Gen Con Online. Click through to their website for more details. Search top-level categories for exhibitors, artists, authors. Use keywords to find your favorites. Browse visually to encounter new discoveries. Take some time to explore. It's out of this world. So it launches today at noon in 15 minutes. Let's see. Sorry, chat. I'm not watching the chat exactly, but Spencer, the events, they're over 6,000 events online, but in person, when they run a normal Gen Con convention, it gets crazy. It's over like, I don't remember the exact number, but like 13,000 or 15,000 or something crazy like that events. We're at like last year's Gen Con. It's always in like the double-digit thousands or whatever events, maybe even higher than that. Maybe I might be getting confused with other numbers, but some huge amount. Like there's so many events. Like, and I always say these examples because they blew me away back when I was like searching the event system 7-8 years ago when I first went to Gen Con or whatever. I remember finding there's like ballroom dancing, knitting, crafts, painting, like mini stuff. There's like painting My Little Ponies. I found there's like events you can take your children and drop them off at, and they'll watch your kids and play little role-playing games or teach them how to make LARP weapons and crazy stuff. Like it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, Dale's correct. Dale, the Casual Gamers here. Hello. And in 15 minutes, then we test their system. So they've been saying, please sign up for a free badge so we know roughly how many people are going to be hitting our website and hitting it, so they could, like, I guess, up the cloud server storage or whatever, the throughput in the background. So they've set it for what they had, and they said last week they had over 20,000 people registered online, which is only like less than a third of what normally go to the physical convention. It's over like 60-something thousand people register for badges and go to Gen Con every year. and they sell out. They sell out because there's fire codes and stuff. They can only sell so many tickets, which is crazy. And Sean says, "Thank you, Rob. I finally put my money where my mind is. Happy to back you on Patreon." Oh, thank you, Sean. Did it pop up? Was that today? Oh, that was yesterday, right? No. Happy to back you on Patreon. Thanks for all the vids, all the info. Patreon/Discord user web thing. Excited to connect with all in Discord. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Sean, for the support. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have Mel to help me keep track of the chat today, so I'm going to just kind of look down when I can. Oh, just now? Did it not pop? Maybe it's delayed. It should pop up on the screen, though. Let me see if I can fix this. But yeah, that's no fun. 1 second. I know I turned off the alerts yesterday. Oh, I see it. I see it in the email. Oh, web thingy. I get it now. I get it now. Thank you so much for supporting, Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, get in the Discord and we'll chat later. That's for sure. I appreciate the support. Yeah, we hit a goal last night. Thank you everyone for hitting that goal. We're gonna do a monthly like channel update / Q&A live stream. Probably be an hour to 2 hours every month, maybe more. We'll see. Where we just do casual chats like this with Mel and I, where we'll just talk about what's going on the channel, stuff in the background, just chat with everybody. You guys throw ideas at us. I don't know, just like an open discussion. We'll bring some topics that we want to discuss. I know you guys will throw topics at us, but it's kind of the stuff that always like happens in our live stream. Someone will come in and go, "Hey Rob, off topic. What do you think about this other game that's not related to the game you're focused on right now?" And I just stop and I talk about it. I get comments later sometimes that people are like, "I don't like the way you keep interrupting with like off-topic stuff with the chat." I've had that a couple times and I'm like, but it's the chat. I want to chat. I do it live for a reason. But I know people have questions and sometimes I read them and I just don't want to break concentration. Like someone's taking a turn at the table and I'm like, we'll discuss that later. But this will give an opportunity where some of those questions, I'll note them down in some comments and we can reply to comments in that live stream. So you may ask a question and I'm like, man, I could type a one-line answer on YouTube, or we can discuss it in a live fashion and everyone can get involved. So those kind of things, we'll save those up and do those every like month or every couple weeks or whatever we do, but we'll do it at least once a month. But that's what we unlocked last as like kind of like a celebration to hitting that goal. But thank you everybody and for helping us hit that goal. And also special shout out to Corey. Corey, I don't know I'm going to say the name wrong, but Brutzman. Last night, I woke up this morning to notice he modified his pledge a couple times because he was trying to hit that goal. So thank you, Corey, for bumping up your pledge amount, modifying it on Patreon or whatever, to make us hit that goal. It was kind of funny. He sent me like a heart-melting message about, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should read it out, but man, thank you, Corey. Like that, like brought a tear to my eye for real. And that's heavily kind words to motivate us to keep going, like doing this stuff like that. It was very special. So I'll reach out to Corey later and maybe I can like read out some of that message, but it was too kind. And yeah, thank you for helping us hit that goal. And everyone else who supports, obviously. But it was funny that I saw like multiple emails where he kept modifying his pledge till we hit the goal. So it's funny he like was forcing it to happen. Trolls. Just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. All right, so Sirhan, it's okay, Rob. We don't mind when you distract the chat with miscellaneous topics. LOL. I know. It's the people who watch later, and I understand from a viewer point. When I go to a live stream and I'm like, man, I just got this new game, or I'm interested in a game that you guys mentioned, and I go, let's go to YouTube and watch a playthrough, and I'll schedule along or scroll along to find one. And I'm sure people do that. They'll click on mine and they'll start watching it. And they're following along. They're all involved in it. And maybe it's like 6 months later, a year later. And then I stop for 5 minutes to talk about some current Kickstarter that's not relevant anymore. Think about that if you're watching that video like a year later. I can understand some frustration, but thankfully they can scrub through it. They can just scrub. It's fine. So it doesn't bug me that much, but we can just go like, we'll have no limit in those streams where I could just ramble on and you guys can ask whatever questions, so it should be fun. Dale says, as an amateur YouTuber, I appreciate all the time and effort you put into this for us gamers. Thanks. Dale, you're awesome too. I watch your playthroughs too. I appreciate the time you spend. And I see you're doing Mage Knight now, which is awesome. That's great. So I don't think you can have the term Dale the casual gamer anymore. Because now that you're playing Mage Knight and even Marvel Champions and whatnot, you're not casual anymore. So you have to rebrand your channel. I'm sorry. But if you guys don't know Dale the Casual Gamer, go check him out. He does some good quality solo live streams. At least all the ones I've watched were solo. Good zoomed in, talks through his strategy, discusses the setup and stuff. Does a good job of that stuff. Oops, done with Mage Knight, lol. Yeah. Yep, Mage Knight is not a casual game. I'm sorry, Dale. You either can't play it on your channel or you got to rebrand your channel. I'm sorry. That's awesome. All right. Okay, we got 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and hopefully this thing launches. I don't know if we just refresh this page. Yeah, nothing here yet. But from this main page, other things are doing. They have 3 Twitch channels. A pro tip, if you guys go to... Let's mute that. If you go to this page here... Let's see if I can drop that a bit. If you go to this page here, it's called Twitch TV /team/Gen Con. Which I will see if I can drop in the chat. All right, this page right here will bring you to this page, which you could also just follow all these channels on Twitch and do the same thing. But this is like the landing page for all the 3 Gen Con Twitch channels. They've done this last year. These all were going last year, even though there's a physical convention. If you couldn't make it there, you could watch Gen Con Main Stage, for example. That's where FFG did its live report last year. You could watch Gen Con Studio and Gen Con TV. One of these, I think Gen Con Studio, is going to be Board Game Geek. Normally they do a live stream and they have publishers kind of go through in like a speed dating thing where they get 5 minutes to sit there and chat about their game with someone from Board Game Geek and demo their new game that they brought to Gen Con. And sometimes publishers will do multiple games. And then Board Game Geek TV will do it live, and then later they'll release them as videos cut up. But on here, they're going to run, I think, the Gen Con Studio channel, and they'll be doing that all weekend. And then Gen Con TV and Gen Con Main Stage, one of them's like focused on RPGs and events or something. But these are the 3 channels where most of the official event stuff's happening. Oh, right here, they put a schedule in. This wasn't there a second ago. At least I don't think so. Oh no, this is the old schedule. See, look, they have no schedule. They need a schedule in here. So you're supposed to go down to here and see the schedule for today, but it's like now in 6 minutes and there's nothing here. Let me refresh. These guys. Yeah, nothing here. But they're supposed to have a schedule down here for the 3 different channels, and they described it saying that one of them will be focused on board games, one of them will be focused on other stuff, one of them is like Board Game Geek showing off stuff. So if you want to see like the new hot games or demos of games and some events, they're going to be held on these 3 Twitch channels. So this is where I think the opening ceremonies is actually on GenCon.tv happening right now. We'll watch it together once it's live. We can just go to the Twitch page or not. How do we... Probably just click on this. Yeah, so this is their like main page, GenCon TV on Twitch. Go follow all 3 channels. And it's just going to be today, starting at noon, for the next 4 days, all Gen Con goodness, all board gaming stuff and other RPG stuff, whatever you're interested in, is all going to be here. You guys, if you want to get a GMC truck, they're on sale, I guess. So yeah. So we'll watch opening ceremonies, and we'll dive into the Looking Glass after, I guess. And then we'll look at the online store. I guess while this is waiting to go live, we can look at that actually. So the other thing they're doing, so that's the Twitch channels. They have all the social media channels that you can follow them on, and they'll be announcing stuff. And then they have show highlights. They're doing a block party. Costume contests are still happening remotely where you can vote on cosplay costumes and stuff. They have a film festival. All this stuff you can sign up for in the events. They have a Discord where you can go and chat with other people. There's all these different channels. There's like a board game channel and stuff. Excuse me, where you can go chat with other board game fans. It's kind of like to simulate the walking through the Gen Con halls and kind of meeting and talking with random people. If you want to simulate that, that is what they've made the Discord for. And it's pretty insane, actually. I don't know if I can show that off. Actually, I wonder if I click here if it gives it... No, that's just an infographic. Oh, come on. Oh, check out our 4-day streaming schedule. Maybe it's on here. Anyways, there's a Discord here. Yeah, so here's a good pictures of the Discord server. So, maybe not. Nope. You can see some of the categories. They have like all different categories. If you're having trouble with one of the online platforms trying to play board games and event and stuff, you can go in there. But yeah, they have the Discord server. Yeah, I'll save that for later. But anyways, but there's links all here. So just go to the gencon.online webpage if you're interested in anything Gen Con related. This is where it's happening. It's all going to be online this year, and they're going to try their best to run an online convention. And a lot of publishers are going to be showing off new stuff this week. So tonight's live stream at 7:30 Eastern, we'll kind of look at anything that's been shown off today that we can find, and you guys bring stuff if we find anything. We'll talk about the FFG announcements. Yeah, any new games that we checked out, anything that was announced this week. Yeah, we'll just chat about that tonight. All right. Yes, Adam. 7 minutes till the game store opens, he was saying a few minutes ago, but it opens in 2 minutes. That's the other thing. So the game store is going to be an online shop where any publisher that's participating, which I don't think will be as many as usual, where they're going to go sell all their games. And it'll be games that have been announced over the last month and a half or so, and games that maybe are already at your local game store. But Gen Con is a place where usually you can go and get some of the new games before they're out at retail. That's part of the excitement of going to Gen Con, grabbing one of the 100 copies of some game that doesn't come out till November. You can do that there. So what they're going to do is try to bring a bunch of vendors together in an online store somewhere in here. But this, yeah, page not found. Okay, that's good stuff. So that's going live in 2 minutes though. So hopefully it's ready soon. But the store and the Looking Glass will open, and I believe from the Looking Glass they'll probably link to the store. But they're going to have it so you can go in there and grab a whole bunch of games. The only problem is a lot of these games you may be able to find on the publisher's website. And they say on here they're not going to ship most of these games until 1 to 2 weeks after Gen Con Online is over. So it's not as exciting as Gen Con where you go and buy a game, you get it right away, you play it, you open it like literally in the next room, you're playing it on the gamer hall on some spare table, trying to learn the rules and play it like right there, you're super excited. This, you buy the new games, but you got to wait 1 or 2 weeks before they even ship out. And they partner with some distribution company to do this. I hope international shipping is available and stuff for some of these games. But we'll take a look through the store after the opening ceremonies and after the Looking Glass, and we'll try to see if there's anything cool and unique in there that we should look at, that maybe I should add to a cart. We'll do that, or I'll talk with Mel about it after. We can discuss it tonight in the stream and stuff, and maybe try to get some things. Hopefully nothing's in too limited quantity that we don't have to rush. That's my fear, because Gen Con is about that, is running to the booth, or do not run to the booth, and trying to get your stuff. All right, let's go to the live stream. Still not starting. Oh, 2,000 people watching this one. And I'll probably go quiet during it because the sound levels and stuff, I don't want to be talking over what they're doing. I could crank my volume and stuff, but we'll just watch it together. Credit card prepped and ready for use. Oh, I should have done that actually. Oh, my credit card's upstairs. It's okay though. It's okay. I can do a be right back if we find anything very crazy. Oh, here's Corey. Yeah, no, Corey. I couldn't watch CTG teach me how to draw an owlbear because I'd have nightmares. As I'm scared of the owlbear. He's like the worst chip in the whole game. So I'll watch that later though. That's the problem. Chip Theory Games is streaming like all day. But a lot of it's pre-recorded, so they'll post it on their YouTube channel later, and I'll just watch it later when I have time. There's too much going on right now. I was trying to watch a Marvel Champion stream this morning at the same time as watching Chip Theory Game stream. Yeah, it was overload. I couldn't do it. I'll have to watch all those later and pay attention.
To escape,
all right, here we go.
Home soon and staying out until 2 with a bunch of old friends that you never knew.
We'll just watch this opening ceremonies. I don't know if you guys can even hear me, but
the night even more fun, and you can swing a great axe and not hurt anyone. Gamers, dice in hand, you know we're rolling for.
So sorry, you guys are asking about the shop. Right here, Gen Con Online. Go down to a game store. So GenCon for GenCon.online. Go there, and the game store should be. No, it's not open yet. Page not found. So they'll get it together. Maybe it'll open right after opening ceremonies. Who knows? But yeah, we'll go to the opening ceremonies again. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah.
Forget from worlds that aren't even real, from the way that sharing it all makes you so proud, makes you feel, for the way the characters you play are much bigger than the figures that you brought to finally being yourself when you're someone that you're not.
Gamers, gamers, dice in hand, you know we're rolling for. Gamers, gamers, when you have a board, you're never bored.
It's that losing is fine, but you still hope to win. It's that we'll do our best till we can be in the same place again.
Gamers, gamers, dice in hand, you know we're rolling for. Gamers, gamers, when you have a board, you're never bored.
Hello, welcome to Gen Con Online. I am Peter Adkisson, the chairperson of the board of Gen Con. I am so excited to be welcoming you gamers from all over the world to a groundbreaking version of Gen Con Online in 2020.
And I'm David Hoppy. I am the president of Gen Con. You know, before we open up Gen Con Online, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you, our fans, our attendees, our captains, the entire community that has stood by Gen Con while we've struggled through these tough times. You know, whether it's been rolling over your badges or buying great merch like my Dragon Tee here, or just providing words of support, that is what's really meant the most to us. And that's what's kept us going during these really, really challenging times. You know, it's been a tough road for us and for everyone in 2020. In the early part of the year when we were struggling with the pandemic and trying to figure out what was going to happen, there were some really scary days and events were canceling all around us. And we started wondering, you know, was there ever going to be a Gen Con again? Were we going to be around for the future? And it was gut wrenching. You know, we finally had to get to that decision where we had to cancel. And it was really, really tough. And then, of course, our team, we had to unwind all this work that we'd put in to bring Gen Con to you in Indy in 2020. And those were the darkest days, I have to say. But then we got this idea of like, how could we do some kind of community event? So we were thinking in April, hey, how can we bring everybody together and do something that was something like a community celebration? And as we were planning this, someone said, we could run ticketed events. And then we started thinking about, well, we could do more with Gen Con TV. We could do merch, and we could do social, and we could create a store. And it was suddenly then that Gen Con Online was really born. But at the end of the day, it's really you, our fans, who have brought Gen Con to life, Gen Con Online to life. You breathe spirit into everything that we do. You give us the inspiration. And so for that, and on behalf of the entire team, I want to thank you.
Yeah, nicely put, David. It's getting a little emotional here. So, one reason it's so heartbreaking to think that Gen Con might not happen this year is because Gen Con has such a long tradition. Gen Con started in 1968 by Gary Gygax in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It had 96 attendees. And here we are over 50 years later. It's been held not only in Lake Geneva, it's been in venues like University of Wisconsin Parkside. Then it moved to Milwaukee, and in 2003, it moved to Indianapolis, where it's been home ever since. For me personally, my first Gen Con was in 1992 when I was an exhibitor with my new game company, Wizards of the Coast. We were all excited, and I haven't missed a Gen Con since. I love this convention. It's a part of me at a very deep level. So when Hasbro decided to sell Gen Con 2002, I bought it, and it has been my pride and joy ever since. So the idea of Gen Con not happening this year, well, that was just something we couldn't let happen. So we decided to go virtual. I admit it took a while to get excited about this. We had to go through, I think, a grieving period. But I'm so glad that David and his team, which I'm so proud of, rallied around this idea, and I am proud of what we're doing here. And speaking of which, what are we doing here, David?
So you're asking, what is Gen Con Online? Well,
Yeah.
it's exhibitors, it's events, it's streams, it's games, it's goofy dances. Really, it's everything that you love about Gen Con, maybe except the will call lines, and even dragons. Oh, well, look at this. It's Genevieve, our favorite dragon. Hey, Genevieve, how's it going? Are you ready for Gen Con Online? Awesome. Hey, so what are you going to be doing during Gen Con Online? Are you going to be checking out our merch? Are you going to be buying anything? Like, what's your favorite Gen Con merch? That would be the Genevieve plush. Of course, of course. Are you going to be tuning in for any of our streams? Like, what's on your menu for streams? Well, first the dance. Yeah. All right. That's good. You've been busting some moves. Anything else? Are you participating in any events? Oh yeah, Magic Sword. Yep, they're doing a D&D session, and I believe they're doing a live DJ set. That's gonna be pretty awesome. Well, here to tell you also, thank you, Genevieve. So good to see you. To tell you also about some of the other things that are happening with Gen Con Online. We've got Mike and Kelsey who are going to give us a bit of a tour. Take it away, Mike and Kelsey.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Kelsey DeRozier, your community manager for Gen Con Online, and I'm here with Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Boozer. I am the customer service manager for Gen Con, and we're going to take you through some things today on how to get a badge and get your events.
Sweet. So let's go on over to the Gen Con Online website and take you through everything you need to know.
All right, we're going to start with signing up and making sure you have an account because you need one to get a badge. So in the upper right, you'll see a sign.
All right, so I don't think we need to watch that, but if you are curious, jump on over to twitch.tv/GenConTV and you can watch the rest of this. I thought they were going to do, those guys would do like the dice roll and everything, and that's usually like signifies like the end of the opening ceremonies. They might still do it. But it was cool just to hear those guys talk. Every year it's just a thing I love, sitting there watching it. I get as close as I can to the stage, and a little tear drops in my eye when they talk about how Gen Con's growing and everyone getting together and how it's tradition and all that stuff. And yeah, those guys are super passionate, and yeah, the convention's awesome. And yeah, hopefully they do a good job with online this year. But they're going to walk through the event system. You can go find out, there are videos on Gen Con's YouTube channel that you can watch right now that they made a couple weeks ago that go over the whole event system. So I'd recommend go find Gen Con's official YouTube channel, and you can watch that, or jump on over to their Twitch stream right now and watch them walk through the event system. But they're going to go through all the stuff about Gen Con Online in more detail than I would, obviously. I just gave you like a high level view of it. But if you go to their YouTube channel, you'll find them going through it multiple times. There's multiple streams. They've been doing like one a week for the last like few weeks, going over everything about Gen Con Online that they could talk about at the time. But today we're going to go check out the Looking Glass because it's supposedly open. Oh, there's a button now. Are you guys ready? We're going to enter the Looking Glass. If you guys have any questions or anything, drop it in the chat. I'll try to keep up with the chat too. Rory says, so Rob, once you're registered from here on in. Correct. You just have to sign into the website each time you go to it. So you can see at the top, I'm signed in with my normal account there. You can see Rob St. John. So I'm signed in with the account I've had with Gen Con for many years. And I just signed up for a free badge. So you can do that. And then you can access some of this stuff you don't need a badge for. You can still get to their Twitch channels, watch all their stuff. But if you want to do any kind of event stuff, sign up for a badge. Yeah, that's basically it. And it also lets them know how many people might be hitting the website each day based on how many badges they have, so they can up the server count or whatever it is you do on the background with the cloud system to kind of get it ready for more load. All right, so here's the Looking Glass. Oh, looks like we can click. Oh, look at this. We can scroll around and click on different publishers and stuff. What is this? Are we in the Matrix or whatever? Is that what this is? Or I feel like I need like some gloves and a like a floating screen that I can like move around and go through the Looking Glass and pick stuff, like Minority Report or whatever. First purchase made, hoping FFG has some early buys for Gen Con. Darn me at work, not being able to focus only on this. No worries, Buell, no worries. It's your wallet's better off without doing it. So not every publisher is going to participate in the store though. That's the problem. So let's go here. I just want to get the store open also, assuming it's working. Let's go to Gen Con Online, and you guys are saying store. Ah, here's the store. Which I'm sure you can get to this store from the other area. But this is what I was planning on doing today. And then you guys were like, why don't you live stream it kind of thing? So here I am. So the game we're most excited about today is Animal Upon Animal Unicorns by Haba. It's a retheming of Animal Upon Animal. So this is one I want to get on the channel and highlight, because just look at those components. They are perfect for the type of game I play. Like, look at those custom dice and those ponies on those clouds. This is exactly the kind of game I'm looking for. I'm totally joking. But I did see them announce this, and I was like, my daughter's a little too old for this stuff now, but this is a game I would have bought like 4 years ago for her to play if I was at the convention. So some of these games you're going to see, they're already been announced. They've already been shown off. They've already been available to buy. They're just bringing all the games. That's what publishers do. Even if a game came out in like February and that's a relatively new game and they want to promote it, if it basically came out after the last Gen Con and they didn't show it off at the last Gen Con, they'll still bring it to the next Gen Con to promote it. So you may see some games in here, you're like, wait, my friendly local game stores had that game for 2 months. That's what they're going to do here. It's just a way to bring it in front of everyone's eyes who maybe wasn't keeping up on it or maybe doesn't have a local game store and that kind of thing. So, but there will be new stuff in here for sure. So we can go to board games. We can click on, I don't know, player count. What do they got here? Player count, publisher or vendor or whatever. So what's Cool Mini or Not have, for example? So far they got Munchkin Dungeon. That's all they have for sale here. Oh, I see Fantasy Flight Games. See, I need to uncheck this one. So all they have is one thing for FFG, Shadow Paths expansion. But again, I would buy this from a local. I know it's out in Canada now, at least. It came out a little later than the US, but it's available now. So I would just purchase it that way. But for some people, they would just put it all in a cart and maybe there's like a discount on shipping. Does anyone know? Dale, what happened on the shipping? On the checkout, did they have options or like a certain amount, get free shipping? How was that experience? Let's see here. Oh, Dale's only got 50 more minutes. Yeah, let us know in the chat, Dale, how the shipping options were for you. I'm assuming you're in the US, so it might have been different, but I'm just curious if there was like different levels of shipping or $5, that's it? That's not bad. That's not bad. Hey, Alan. Thank you for being here. Finally. Aquatica? I don't know what Aquatica is. Adam, I have to look at that one. Shipping for Adam was a flat $4.99. Just the one option in the US. Okay, that's good. But that's the advantage then. So that's the difference. So yes, you could get some of these games already at your friendly local game store, but some of these games will be new and exclusive for Gen Con that aren't going to be available until retail till later. So if you haven't bought some of those older games, here's a way for you to bind it all together and get it from one source and save on shipping. Assuming the price is still good. But you may save on shipping enough that even if the price is a little higher, it might be good. So what else we like? What does Gamelin Games have? Tiny Epic Dinosaurs? I don't know, man. I don't know if it's that I have big hands, but the Tiny Epic Quest that I played, it felt like I wish I could just buy a normal Epic Quest version of that game and play with proper size pieces. I like the idea of the travel ability of it, but the game, it's like a giant game put in a small box. So it has like the complex rule set, tons of components. But I haven't been sold on the Tiny Epic series, and it might just be the size of my hands. I'm just not a fan of them. I like the games, but I just would rather play a game with proper size components. But that's just me. Marvel United, because Kickstarter isn't coming out for many more months. Shocked it didn't come when you clicked on Simon. It might still show up. I don't know. But again, a lot of publishers, I'm sure, are selling stuff on their own website, because even on Gen Con streams, they were saying not all publishers have committed to doing this. Probably because they don't want to give Gen Con a cut of the sales and stuff. So, but there's not a lot here. There's not a lot in here. Pandemic Hot Zone, North America. Interesting. Interesting. What else we got? Do we have Chip Theory in here even? No, see, there's like a lot of companies are just going to do their own web store thing, which I'm sure comes from the Looking Glass, if I can find the Looking Glass page. So let's go to, let's get out of the store. We're going to look at exhibitors. And let's see if we can go to the Chip Theory Games booth, for example. And you're going to see me get like distracted and jump all over the place here. But this is what I was going to spend today doing, like just enjoying it as a fan. And I'll do it with you guys, but like I was just going to be sitting here like taking notes, running through all these things, looking for all the new games, trying to find out stuff that I want to try to get for the channel later in the year. That's what I go to Gen Con now doing. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. I go and I try to build relationships with different publishers. I check out new stuff coming. That's how I find about upcoming Kickstarters, seeing these new companies with a little booth demoing some game that they're going to bring to Kickstarter in 3 months or so. That's how I would find out about that stuff. Keep my ear to the ground. Was just going to the convention and meeting people in person. I'm old school like that, I guess. I don't know, but let's see what they got here. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I scrolled. Oh, you can scroll your wheel. Look at this. Oh my god. This is crazy. Let me check. Hopefully it's not. Oh, it's okay. It's not really killing the processor doing that, but you can tell it's a little, it's getting hammered for sure because it's taken a while to load some of the images. That's cool though. That's cool. Yeah, that's neat. That's neat. So you can tell the publishers that spent more money to be a bigger partner to Gen Con are the larger icons. This is normal. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. Because I know AG and CGE and Paizo and all these guys, they have like the big signs in the dealer hall and they get like the best spots for booths because they're like, they invest in Gen Con. FFG also, they have like one of the biggest presences there. So if we click on FFG, for example, oh my God, I try to scroll so that I can see this. Oh, I know why. Sorry, guys. I'm zoomed in so we can read text on the screen, but it's being kind of weird. What was that? Sean, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. So in here, we can see the FFG in-flight report. If we click on FFG and they have a promotional link, you can go to their website and this is them being described. So that's kind of what the Looking Glass is. This is their booth. So let's go to the promotional link. It just leads you to the in-flight report we were trying to watch yesterday. And if we click on these images, we just get images. Okay. Okay. This is not the actual booth experience I was looking for, but it's okay. So let's go back to Chip Theory. They're an exhibitor. They're tagged with board game and publisher. Oh, you can check out their live stream right now, drawing an owlbear. But I don't. I want to look away. I don't want to be looking at an owlbear right now because it will scare me. Oh, we're good. I think they're done that stream actually. It's like between. But what happens when I click this? Oh, it's just their game. Okay, they're just showcasing, like, they just put some games images here, and then you can get to their website. Yep, takes us to their website. And promotional link just goes to that YouTube video that was embedded. So here's FFG's live stream happening right now. They're obviously between streams, I think. But yeah, that's cool. So this is not as crazy as I thought. I thought it was going to then list a whole bunch of games I'm interested in, and I click to the store and stuff from here. But I don't see that. This looking glass is kind of letting me down here. This is not as exciting as I thought it would be. I was expecting, like, I would go there, it would show sales, it would link me to their store where I could buy the new hotness, it would let me click on, like, for example, Too Many Bones, and it would list like a video of it, them demoing it or something, lead to a Twitch stream where they're showing the game off or something, lead me to events. Like, how come this doesn't link to the event system or the store? Yeah, this is not as cool as I thought. Let me check let me see. Let's go to ChessX. Does ChessX have a thing here? A cool dice booth that everyone loves hitting up. And they also have a couple of the booths at Gen Con. I don't see. Nope. What else can we look at? What are you guys thinking? The Journeys Middle Earth expansion is already hard to find in Europe, Alan? Wow. Well, you can order it on here. I don't know what shipping's like, Alan, for Europe from here. I don't know if this ships. I'm not going to go through it here on stream, but I'll probably order something this weekend, and I want to see what the shipping rates are to Canada. But if anyone knows, let me know in chat or the comments later if you're watching this later and you bought anything from the store for Canada. I'm curious if it's still like the $5 shipping. I'm just looking back at the chat. They don't have all the publishers, but Marvel United and many others are in the store. Trove Chest is up next. Oh, cool. I ordered the Trove Chest, actually. Last minute, I added it to my Cloudspire expansion stream. Mel and I caved. We were like, nah, we'll wait on it. And then we're like, no, let's just order it now. We're going to get it eventually. So we're like, let's get it at the better price. I'm in Ontario, Adam. Southern Ontario. Like an hour from Buffalo. And like upstate New York, kind of. Not that far from there. Let's see. Some sites do. Just looked at the OP games. The OP, formerly known as the guys who pump out all the Monopoly games, but they make some cool stuff now. So let's go. I saw Asmodee Family. I want to see what's in there. Where was that? Asmodee Family. So the Asmodee Family. Oh, it's just family games from Asmodee. I thought it would be the family of companies. Who else is cool? What else do we want to look at? We got like Fan Rider games and stuff in here. Let's see. I scroll way past that. Yeah, so it just links you to some Twitch or YouTube page and to their website. That's it. Kind of lame. Kind of lame. All right, let's go back to the store. Let's go back to the store. All right, let's take off some of these filters. So you were saying how many board games are just in here if we just do board games? What does it do? 55. Really? They're doing as seen on BGG TV too. That's fun. So these are games that are being displayed on the other Twitch channel. So if we go back to that Team Gen Con thing. Is Gen Con Studio going on? Oh, sorry. Well, we'll come back after the ad break, I guess. We can close the looking glass. I'm done with you, looking glass. We can close this. New releases is only one? Really? Skytear Starter Box. Which is a game that's coming to the channel, by the way. That's a game that I've talked with the publisher. We should get that on the channel soon, actually. So that's cool. Skytear. Not to be confused with Skytier, that I thought it was called for the last few months. Back to work, Dale. Good luck. Have fun at work, sucker. Just kidding. Thanks a lot, Dale. Yes, we will meet up in person at a con. It definitely will happen, for sure. I'll announce that, obviously, once there's an actual convention to go to. Looks like Canada shipping depends on the game. Oh, week. Yeah, and the games will ship out in 1 to 2 weeks, so don't expect them too fast. But I'm sure they're going to get flooded with tons of orders. But so let's see. I don't know. We'll just click all this stuff. Card games. Let's do dice games. Gen Con games. What does that even mean? What the heck does Gen Con games mean? Let's just clear them all. What's a Gen Con game? Okay, stop. Get out of here, board games. Gen Con games is just the board games and stuff. Oh, there's Marvel United. I don't know about that game. I don't think that game's for me. I think that game would be for me if my daughter was like 7. But no offense, but that game seems like mass market, like I don't know, it should be like a $20 game for the gameplay. But not knocking anyone who bought it, but it's like definitely like, it's like the Candyland of Cool Mini Knots lineup. I don't know what they're doing with that game, but it just does not, like, it did not wow me at all. It was just like, yep, that looks like I would play that once and go, why did I buy this? Like the Funkoverse games are like as simple as all go, to be honest, but to be excited about, those are fun. I like the little skirmish mode in it, but yeah, it just seems like meant to be played for kids, like with your family. Did someone say Candyland? Yes, I did. I dropped the C word. I'm getting aggressive here. I'm frustrated that Cool Mini or Not got the Marvel license, and that is the first game they decided to put out with the Marvel license. Very, very not impressed with that. I want real minis. I want a full game. Give me a full game. But I know they're trying to put it in Walmarts and Targets and sell bucket loads. That's where you make your money, right? So, unfortunately, you don't make as much money from the hobby gamers as you do from the mass market. So, just looking through here. Oh yeah, they got a dinosaur version of Animal Upon Animal. Don't be dissing Candyland. I'm not. It's one of the first games I played with my daughter to show her board gaming when she was like 3. But come on. They could have updated the rule set a little better in that game to make it a little more interesting. Did you watch all the FFG video? Yes, I did, Conjay. The Marvel announcement was meh. Could be cool, but I want to see more. Which Marvel announcement? The new stuff coming to Marvel Champions? Because that was all awesome. The X-Men board game, I want X-Men in Marvel Champions, but instead they decided to give me an X-Men board game. The art, the components look fine in that game, but again, it looks like a very casual, middle tier, kind of like Pandemic level of game. Just a co-op, dice-driven game. It's probably similar to last year's Arkham Horror Final Hour, where it's kind of targeted more at the like family weight games. Yeah, the X-Men, whatever it's called. We'll talk about that more on tonight's stream. We'll bring it up. We'll watch the trailer. We'll go through all the details and stuff. I just want to quickly look through here and see if there's anything cool. I just thought I'd be able to find more information about these games. What if I click on this game, Call to Adventure? What do I see here? This is all I get? I'm not linked to any videos, or this is what I thought the Looking Glass would be, was linking me to videos and playthroughs and events for all these games. I think they could have done a better job with this for sure. This is just like a meh online store. Yeah, and the Looking Glass was meh. I don't know. Oh, now I go back and I have to load all this stuff again. I don't know. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I guess Gen Con was like, they still have to put money into this stuff, and nobody paid for any badges, so it's free, so I guess you get what you pay for, right? Deep Vents gets a full line here. Red Raven Games. Does anyone know about any of these games? Is there anything new and hot in here? Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, I've seen this game before. It's like tile drafting. Tile drafting. Let's see. Call to Adventure is a great game. Yeah, I checked it out a couple years ago at Gen Con at the Brotherwise Games booth. The guys that make that boss monster game I like. ZS, nice. Nice. They need links to big. They needed links too big for the games. CTG's talking about the trove chests. All right, let's go there. Let's see. Do we have their boom?
Full trays.
They're
filled
talking
up
about
in
like
there,
the design of it.
and we've started pulling
So
them
for
out
those
and
that don't
leaving
know,
them
Too Many
out
Bones,
about
one of my
halfway,
favorite games,
just to see
is
what
made
that
by
kind
Chip
of
Theory
pressure
Games.
would be
This
like
is
and
the
what it
trove
would do,
chest,
and
which
very
is designed to
quickly
fit
we
in a
saw
K-Lax shelf.
that this cardboard was starting
The
to
most
pull
popular
away
board game shelf
or
sold by
just flat
IKEA,
out rip.
and this is supposed to store all the
And this is
content that's been
the
released up
neoprene
until now.
tray. So it's a
All the content. Sorry, you guys might not be able to hear me, but it's all the content is supposed to fit in this K-Lax cube-sized box and hold all of your stuff. For Too Many Bones, one of my favorite games. That's all been released up until now. My fear is just like what happens when they release another expansion or something. Yeah, supposedly they have a little bit of room in there to fit more stuff, but yeah, I get a little worried. But so I did order this for sure. Smartphone seems to be pretty hot. Yeah, I hear a lot about that game actually. That seems like a game a lot of people have been talking about for a while now actually. I was actually told, a couple people told me that I should look into that one. Yeah, it's like made of wood. It's like made of like MDF wood. And they're showing like prototypes of it, but it's like got an art wrap around it. Has magnets built into it to like open it up. But it's meant to look like a locked chest sitting on your K-Lax shelf. And it just fits in a K-Lax cube, yes. John says, smartphone ink is great. Does smartphone ink have a solo mode? I remember watching a multiplayer playthrough of it, I'm pretty sure. It's got like a whiteboard and you're like smartphone manufacturers trying to like sell your phones and try to like, you know, do you make a nice expensive phone or do you make a cheaper phone and that kind of stuff. You're just trying to manufacture them and sell them and stuff. Yes, and it's very fun. Ah. Yeah, they left room in it for more stuff. Okay, cool. Because that's why I wasn't going to order this trove chest. I'm not a fan of storage solutions for games that have had multiple expansions and you know are going to have more expansions. That just seems like a bad idea to me. You're competing against Steve, the other smartphone manufacturer. Oh, man. But yeah, I'll definitely watch this stream later because I've ordered this now. I can't wait for it to show up later this year, hopefully. And I want to watch this in depth. But I'm one that likes to order stuff on Kickstarter and then just like hide and ignore all the updates so that I just set it and forget it. Then eventually it shows up for me later, like in a year or whatever. No, Rob, you already made me buy this War of Mine. I will not buy Too Many Bones. You can't make me. Adds to shopping cart. Too Many Bones is amazing, Kanjay. It's an awesome solo game. True solo. You can run single gear lock with most of the gear locks and still do all right. Or run two-handed, which is great. Like, and it's epic. It's fun. The tactile feel of that game. Holding those nice dice and poker chips and all the neoprene mats. Like, it just adds to the premium feel of that game. And the gameplay is tight, too. It's fun and goofy. It's great. Lots of humor in it. I don't know. Too Many Bones is awesome. One of my favorite games ever. And I just sad I didn't find out about it till like last year at this time. I wish I was there in 2017 or 2016 and backed it all in. But I'm glad I found it now. And I'm looking forward to getting Splice and Dice and stuff later this year. It's out of stock right now in the Canada In the Chip Theory store, I can't get Splice and Dice or Dart because they're out of stock in Canada, but they're available everywhere else, it seems. So I reached out to Chip Theory after Gen Con and see if I can get some help getting that. Yes, Adam. Adam, get them. But it is an expensive thing, so Conjay, do your research. I will still say that. It's not the perfect game. It might not be perfect for everybody. Same with Cloudspire and anything Chip Theory makes. The problem is it has that high price tag and that high premium components. So if the game doesn't click with you and you don't find it fun, you spent a lot of money to get that, and sometimes a bit of shipping too, depending where you are. But you can always sell it after. People will buy it. I'm sure they will. It's always out of stock. They're always waiting on a reprint. It's always hot. There's always new fans that find out about Chip Theory and want to get copies. So worst case, you buy Too Many Bones. Start with like the starter set. See if you like it. If you don't, it's not for you. It doesn't click with your gaming group or yourself. Play it a bit and you can sell it no problem. And people will buy used Chip Theory games because they know the product quality is so good that they know the product they'll get. It's not like the cards will be worn out or anything. They're made of plastic. So, and the chips are made all of plastic and everything. So I would buy secondhand Chip Theory products for sure and not worry about it at all. So that's the other thing I would say. But do your research though. Do your research. Because I would hate to say like, this is the best game. It's not. It's one of my favorites. And you might love it. It might be your favorite game. But maybe it won't. Maybe you buy this game and it's like a lot to get in. But they do make Undertow. That's a cheaper entry point, but not cheaper by much. I would still say buy the core set. Try it out. Or find a friend that has it and play with them. Or nowadays, just try it on Tabletop Simulator or whatever. Find someone to play with it online. Just find one of the chat groups, go in the Discord for Chip Theory and ask for someone to teach you Too Many Bones on like Tabletop Simulator or something. And I'm sure someone would help you out. But yeah, it's not like you just go to your store and pay $40 or $60 and get the board game and just try it and play it and whatever. It's like, it's an investment. Yeah, so he's showing off the magnets that you use to open it up. And then they have little storage containers inside. That's what sold me on this insert, or this storage solution, is they have like little plastic holders for all the tyrants. So I don't need to sort through all these deck boxes to find all the cards for Duster and anything involved with Duster. It will all be nice and displayed. Her chip and her dice and her cards and all that stuff will be in a single container. So when I want to set up and play Too Many Bones, it's going to speed up that process big time, which that's why I bought it, was all the stuff inside this box that it's coming with. I hope he shows some of that stuff, but yeah. And all your player mats are going to go up in there. Yeah, he's talking about it. I'll let you guys watch this later. And you can listen to him talk about it. I don't know enough about all of it. Yeah, look at the storage stuff in there. Just made me like, oh man, that's awesome. But I think he's just got random stuff thrown in here right now. But yeah, we're getting distracted watching Chip Theory game stream now, showing off the Trove box. But I have the volume muted, so we can chat about anything. But it's some nice background for sure. Yeah, it's a little more expensive now, unfortunately. That's why I backed it in the Cloudspire Kickstarter to save like $20 US. So what they did was, it was originally going to be made of like a cheaper material. And when they were prototyping it, they realized it was like not as durable as they wanted. So they upgraded it to like MDF wood and all this stuff, made it heavier, which is going to increase shipping costs and all this stuff. And increase the price to manufacture. But they did the Chip Theory is awesome like this. All the people that backed it at the original price in the first Kickstarter when this was, they get it all at that sweet cheap price of like something crazy, like $65 or something, or maybe a little bit more. But then they brought it out in the Cloudspire Kickstarter, bumped up the price a little bit, and then they were like, wait, it's more expensive or something like that. So now it's like going to be $100 item or something, or more than $100. But they didn't up the price in the Kickstarter, so they let everyone know in advance. Hey, everyone, we're going to raise the price eventually because this thing's costing more to manufacture because we keep adding to the project. These guys, scope creep is like, they can never fight off scope creep at this company. They just let it, they don't even care. They'll be sitting and think of a cool idea and they're like, wait, that'll cost more. Throw it in. We'll just raise the price later. So we'll reward all the people who backed it in the first place. They're cool like that. So if you were able to get this Trove chest before, like a month ago, you would have got it at a cheaper price. Now it's available to pre-order in their store, but it's a little more money. It's actually the proper price it should be. So it was cool that they did that. They like warned everyone heavily, like, FYI, if you want this before the price goes up, now is the time, and you will get a more than your money's worth, which is kind of cool. Oh, the initial offering was $79. Okay, thank you, Adam. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. But yeah, I was just like, I wanted it. I was going to buy it later, and then when they're saying they're going to raise the price, but as soon as he opened that drawer with the containers with the Tyrant stuff in it, I was like, I want that. Like, I would wait and buy those containers later and just store them myself, but then I was like, no, I want it all. I want it all. So Mel and I had the talk, and we were like, yeah, let's just do it. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm definitely going to be doing an unboxing of this box and showing you how to store all your stuff in it and demoing it. I'm sure these guys will do it too, but yeah, I'll show it off for sure on stream and drool all over it and stuff. It'll be fun. So yeah, this is what's happening all week. Companies are going to be showing off live streams of their new wares and upcoming stuff. That's what Gen Con's all about, is like, oh, there they are. There they are. Look at this. Oh my God.
We've run into some interesting parts. So this is the label. Now these labels are very much like our stickers on our chips. So they've got it's a foil. It's a sticky foil that then has a layer of heavy plastic over the top of it for protection and whatnot. And so we wanted that to be the sticker that we use, just because it helps with the scuffing and
yeah, this is the gear lock trays, but they have Tyrant trays like this too. I'm pretty sure it's Tyrant boxes or something. But these are to organize your gear locks. So they're just easily, you pull them out and then just pop the lid off and they're ready to go. Which is, they already have dice trays that kind of do this, and you can put your chip in them already. But that just looks beautiful.
Chest, so enough of these trays come right with the chest. Same with the Tyrant trays. There's enough for every single Tyrant in the game, and they were designed to sit on your table and look just as nice outside of the box as inside. Functional, but something that looks minimal on the table, because we would want you to use this right alongside your gear lock mat. So this is made to sit alongside it, just a little bit away, so you still have room for all your exhausted dice. And but again, it came out beautiful. And this actually, if you wanted, could inset basically to give it a little bit of height, so it fits in opposite and can hold your dice. But yeah, every piece of this, I think we tried to factor in the play that was going to be done with the piece, and then how it was going to be used to store the components when not in play. One other thing I'll just touch on here is I'll just get back to the labels. So these turned out excellent. They actually allow you to kind of, they stick with enough stick that when you press them down, they're not moving. But in the process of placing them, they're malleable, like they move a little bit. You can kind of push them one way or the other to get them exactly where you want them. So then we were like, well, let's do these types of stickers for everything. Of course, right? So we went ahead and made some protectors. This was a little bit of a right at the end thought of, hey, if this was to be too hard on your box, you could take one of these and stick it to the box, and it would be like a key that you're, that's kind of for that tray, and it would just protect the magnet from the art. Someone brought up the fact that maybe you could just stick this sticker to the bottom of the magnet, and that actually would work probably really well as well. So there's lots of different ways. We haven't found, we've been using this for the last a good while. Like this one, not for the last month, but the previous sample we've been using for over a month, and that has held up just perfectly. So we don't intend to use these stickers, but and we didn't want to go clear, because clear on here, it just doesn't look as good. It looks like something's there that shouldn't be there. So we wanted it to be a physical key if it was going to be something at all. So that was our thought process on that. They came out fine. But what I wanted to get to was the little tiny labels. So that's for our little chip dividers. So one of the things that came out of this was these, I think this was kind of a latter part of the campaign, were these little chip dividers.
Oh, wow.
And these are for like sectioning out your baddies, your gearlocks, your anything, your tyrants, separating out all of those pieces so that they're more easily grabbable and sortable and whatnot.
That's
And we
awesome.
wanted to make this thing
That's
as
awesome.
versatile as possible. So we wanted these to fit right in your tray, have the cover go right on over without it impeding or blocking anything. We wanted them to be able to be flipped both ways so that you could label them one way or the other. And the idea was that you take one of these things, you got this cool little sticker, and you put it on. So now you know that this is Beast 5-point baddies, and then you can sort them as such. Now, this was an awesome idea until we got the final. Like they're being loaded in the containers. One's actually on its way here right now. We got this. We tested these a number of times, but we got the finals and we put them on the stickers, and then a week or so later, I went back and I was like, oh man, I didn't push one of those down hard enough, and so I pressed it back down. Next day I was showing someone, and oh my goodness, it's popped up. Why did it pop up? Well, problem is that this plastic that's on top of
Can't be
this
bent, I bet.
label is rigid enough that due to the contour of this, that plastic is fighting against the stickiness of it. And so the plastic that's protecting the sticker is pulling, it wants to go flat, and it's pulling up the sides of the plastic. So, I mean, even at this late date, we're faced with an oh crap moment, because it's just not something that any of us anticipated. This same issue kind of became an issue. Like at that point, it jumped, kind of went to my head that I need to check the tyrant trays.
Uh-oh.
So I checked the tyrant trays, and sure enough, the tyrant trays themselves have a little indent for these stickers, and you can put them in, but unfortunately with the tyrant trays, the indent that allows for the sticker to go in it's not a sheer angle, it's a rounded angle. So at the bottom isn't as wide as the top, and so the top is what fits the label, the bottom isn't. So when I put this on, if I look on the inside, I can see that the very bottom, the sticker isn't actually sticking to it. And even if I press it down, the rigidity of the plastic pulls it up. So what do we do? Well, thankfully our manufacturer's gotten used to our last minute we have to fix this instances. And so called them up, and the first 2 shipments of Trove chests were already
See you later, Dragon. No worries.
addressing. Those are the ones we don't have time to do anything about, other than like we're going to have these printed without the plastic on top. The plastic's great, it protects them, but not for this use. We already have an indent, so it's fine. We're going to have them print these and these again without the plastic. We're actually going to take the die cut down a little bit on these, and in the end, they're going to be packaging those, air shipping them to the 2 locations that these containers are arriving at. They'll get there before the containers, and then we'll pay to have the boxes opened and have these sticker sheets inserted in. After the first 2 containers, the rest, they'll actually have these done by that time, and we'll be able to just include them along with the Trove chests. So anyway, just that was a long story, I guess, but I think it illustrates just how I'm not willing to let this Trove chest, like it's a small thing, but it's a huge thing when it comes to the look and feel of this piece. If the stickers aren't sticking, or if they're just not performing as they should, like, nope, doesn't work for us. So we went ahead and changed it kind of at the last hour to make sure that everyone was pleased with their product. Yeah, I guess, other than taking you through, there's a few more things I'll kind of show off here, and then we can call it good. But the trophy chest itself, I would say, couldn't have turned out better. The structure of it is a 10 for me. The art on this thing is a 10. Melanie did an awesome job, along with Anthony.
Yeah, lots of talk in the chat about the quality of chip theory. You heard him there talk about they notice issues. They will fix anything, and they'll do it at their own cost. They're crazy like that. But then what they do, because they do that and that investment, that's a huge thing. I learned that in the quick service restaurant industry, is every time you satisfy an unhappy customer by going the extra mile, you now gain a hardcore customer that will spend 10 times of what they would have spent on that initial purchase that they were unhappy with. So you will, instead of someone walking away from chip theory going man, I got my game, all my cards were miscut, or my stickers don't stick on the thing I paid all this money for, you reach out to their customer service, they'll hook you up, they'll correct it, and they'll even include some promo items half the time, I think, or every time, I'm not sure, but they'll make it right. And they'll do it at their own cost. They'll make it right on this kind of situation. And if they notice something with this Trove box, a year from now starts happening, you contact their customer service, they'll make it right. And they're always have been good at that, and that's one of the things. That's why they have such a loyal fan base. But you make a customer happy like that. Instead of a customer walking away, you now have that customer, and that customer will spend more money going forward. So these investments are smart. These ones fixing some stickers, having them airship, that's not cheap. But doing that little extra bit now has more people who will invest in this kind of product, and more people who will back their next Kickstarter, and more people who will tell their friends, you can feel safe spending money at this company. You will not be upset at the quality and whatever. So they've been very good with that. That's one of their specialties. They're very, very smart in that aspect. That's the idea that they've decided to put a lot of energy and effort in, and they're very good at that. Their support's amazing. Roy, the starter for Too Many Bones is just called Too Many Bones. Just the core set. It's got 4 gear locks in it. It looks like, let's see if we can get there from here. So let's say we go to the looking glass and let's enter it. Let's see if we can find chip theory through here. Let's go to exhibitors. And let's find chip theory games. I guess we could just searched. And let's go to their website. Or you could just go to chiptheorygames.com. So let's go to, just click on this, so I'm sure it'll take us to a store. So in the store, they have max shipping US 10, max shipping Europe 20. Sadly, there's no Canada option here. I'm not impressed with that, but it is what it is for now. So we go to Too Many Bones, and you'll just see the core games. So you could start with Too Many Bones or Too Many Bones Undertow. Too Many Bones Undertow, they try to make a cheaper option for people to get into the universe, because they know once you're in, you're going to buy it all, assuming you like it, which most people do, that play it. So Too Many Bones, the core set's this huge box. It's huge. It weighs 15 or 20 pounds or something crazy. That's what it looks like. It comes with 4 gear locks. It comes with this many dice. It's a heavy little box. And it comes with 4 gear locks there. You see Boomer, Tantrum, Picket, and Patches, right? Where's Patches? No Patches. Comes with 7 tyrants to fight, 7 final bosses you can fight. It's got the most content in a single box for any of the line. Everything else is just a little bit of an expansion, kind of. But this is a way to get 4 different, you can play 4-player right out of here. You don't have to buy anything else. You can play solo out of this, try 4 different gear locks solo against 7 different tyrants. Do the math, plus all the different enemies. The most enemies are in this box. And yeah, you'll get the most encounters and all that stuff. But the problem is it's $130 US plus $10 shipping plus tax, I'm assuming. It's not a cheap entry point into the game. And this is a heavy game. You got to spend the time to learn it. You got to spend the time to research on forums, read an FAQ. If you want to play it correctly, You'll be asking questions in Discord, reading up posts from Chip Theory in the rules forums on Board Game Geek, because the rule book's not the best. There's so much in this game that little situations and things will happen you're not sure about. But if you're okay with that, you'll have a blast. It's super fun. It's a fun time. Go watch some of our playthrough videos. I got earlier playthrough videos where I describe the game in more detail. I have solo playthroughs, co-op playthroughs, 3-player playthroughs on the channel. 3 and 2-player playthroughs. But yeah, this core set's the best way to start. Undertow's okay. But it is more geared at the experienced player. And I don't care what you say. It is more geared at the Too Many Bones fan that has already played the first game. You can tell it was designed with them in mind more than it was designed to bring new players in, other than the price point and the lesser content to like not overwhelm the player, but it's still the exact same rules plus a little bit more. So I would always recommend start with the core set if you're going to play Too Many Bones at all. Start with this base set. You get the most for your money. It's not that much more than Undertow. Let's check. Undertow is, so it's what, $40 difference? No, 30? What did I just say the other one was? $130? $40 difference, right? So 40 extra dollars, but you're only getting 2 gear locks in Undertow. You're getting not as many encounters, not as much loot, not as many enemies, not as many bosses. It's only 5 bosses, or 6, sorry. 6 bosses? No, it's technically 5 because 2 of these work together in the same fight, right? Nobulus and Abomination are kind of like one tyrant. So I think it's only 5. It does have a mini campaign mode. So if you're looking for like a small little campaign, it's kind of cool. But if you want campaign in Too Many Bones, so Too Many Bones is like separate sessions. If you want a campaign mode, you need the Age of Tyranny. This is a $25 expansion. I'm assuming this is showing US prices. I'm sorry guys if it's showing Canada. I don't know if I set something in here or not. I think that's US. I think that's US. But this adds some more campaign stuff. So you can run a campaign. It has loots and boons and all this stuff you can carry on between multiple sessions. So if you want to turn Too Many Bones into a campaign, as I did when I first found out about the game, I originally wasn't even interested in this until I found out it had a campaign mode. And after you played a bunch and you want to spice up the enemies and encounters, they have 40 Days of Daylore. I could go on and on about this. I should probably make like a buyer's guide based on this. I probably should after I play the other third wave of stuff from Splice and Dice, which I'll do later this year. But yeah, but that's Rory, what I'm talking about. Oh, you've seen all my videos on it. Now, why are you asking me these questions? No, I'm just kidding. No, but this is the original set right here. And you'll get like the 4th edition most likely, which has like refined rules and updated player aids and stuff, which might be a little different than what you see me using in my videos. Because I have like 3rd edition. So they keep refining it too every time they do another print run, trying to fix things. Alan says, companies with this level of dedication deserve every success. Yeah. Kanji says, crazy that companies don't realize something so simple. Treat people well and you will do well. It's true. It's very true. Don't try to rip everyone off. Don't come across as a scumbag like some companies do, where they care more about the money. And, like, you got to spend money to make money. That's a known thing. That's how business works. Hexy says, the thing with chip theory is there really isn't any half measures. They want to be the best, and anything less is not good enough. True. It's not horrible for Canada, though. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is if you're in Canada, let's see if we can get there. Board Game Bliss. Whoops. Nope, that didn't work. Board Game Bliss. Let's try to go there again. It's going to work. So Board Game Bliss is a Canadian retailer. They do ship to the US and whatnot, and they specialize in carrying rare games and imports and stuff. But they do have... This is where I bought my Undertow from. But they were like the first retailer I found that actually carries Chip Theory stuff. So if you're in Canada... See, they don't have Splice and Dice yet. I'm waiting for this thing to come in stock. It's sitting there for $0. I want to buy it for $0. That's a cool price. But yeah, if you're looking for like some rare stuff and you're in Canada, these guys ship for like $150. If you spend $150, you get free shipping. And you can easily get there with Chip Theory stuff. The only problem is there's the exchange rate. So those who are in the US, here's what us Canadians have to suffer. Our dollar is not that strong right now. So $175. So if you're in Canada, it's on like a $200 in to get just the base set. So yeah, that's why I have trouble sometimes like recommending this game blindly to people. That's why I've made playthroughs of it. That's why I've explained it as best I could in all my videos to show off the game from front to end and give my opinion. So if you think, based on the way I show the game, if it's something you would like and it's that price is worth it to you, then go nuts. But yeah, it's not. You could get other games that have a big experience that are less money than that. It's just you're paying for the upgraded components, the high quality box, the high quality plastic reference sheets, the high quality rule book, the plastic cards, the dice, the weighted poker chip dice, or the weighted poker chips, and the printed coated dice, all the custom dice, the trays, the neoprene. No cardboard mats in it. It's all neoprene. Everything's neoprene in it. It's all like, it's waterproof. The game is waterproof except for the rule book in the box, which is nuts. But yeah, if you're in Canada, Board Game Bliss, it carries a lot of the stuff, and you can get it free shipping at least. You don't have to pay the like shipping from Chip Theory can get like over $20 plus. I've seen it go as high on just like a single expansion, like a single little $30 expansion. Paying almost $20 shipping is like seems super weird, which is nuts. Yeah, so they have that stuff. And for some reason, Zombicide and Fireteam Zero show up when I search for Too Many Bones. Yeah, that's lame. But yeah, this is where I got my ally pack from. These guys had it in stock when Chip Theory had it out of stock forever. I don't know how these guys got it and Chip Theory didn't have it, but yeah. So just a tip for you guys. Just a tip. Oh, they're doing trivia over on, if you know your trivia, you can go and do some Chip Theory trivia. That was the opening. Just trying to close some windows here. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I got. You guys have any questions? Hey, Matouj, how's it going? Let's see here. Just trying to check the chat. Yeah, sorry the stream was kind of all over the place. I thought we'd be looking through the looking glass more in the store, but it's like there's not a lot here. And the looking glass is like a huge letdown. Huge letdown. It is not even close to that dealer hall experience. It's kind of lame. And I don't know why they didn't have it available ahead of time. That should have been something. But yeah, only 55 board games in here. Normally Gen Con has like over 500 brand new games that are there for like the first time every year. So most publishers this year, you can tell, are just deciding to sell their games and promote their games on their own websites, their own channels, their own stores. The fact there's only like 55 board games in here seems really low, like for the board game store on Gen Con. So kind of sad, but yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is, unfortunately. So yeah, this is a neat idea though. I just wish there was more when I click on like a company. Like AEG, I get a link to their YouTube, their website, and I get some pictures of games they make. That's it. That's all I get. A little description of who they are. I don't know. It's a cool idea, but this needs work. There needs to be links here to the store, to the games they're selling. There needs to be all this stuff. They should have made them kind of like, put your games in the store, and we'll link to that, and you get to show off your game, and every time they click on a game, they'll get a YouTube video showing the game, demoing it, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. And over here on, this is twitch.tv/team/GenCon is all the 3 Gen Con streams. So right now, Gen Con Studio is going to be Board Game Geek the whole weekend, showing off game after game after game. So right now they're showing off Matt Leacock's Pandemic Hot Zone North America. So a new game from Z-Man Games, aka Asmodee. And if we go on our Gen Con TV, we're getting a Lululemon ad. But after that, we'll see something new, I'm sure. But yeah. Looks like they're having is it like an RPG session? I don't know. Still says opening ceremony, but I'm sure that's not correct. Nope, it's kids on bikes. Indoor recess has outdoor recess indoors. So it looks like they're playing Kids on Bikes or something. Yeah. And then Gen Con main stage is now live. And I'll drop the link to this below. So if you guys want to follow along, those watching now and those watching later, I'm going to put this in the video description of this stream. If I can find the button. Let's go. Which are linked. I already have a link to Gen Con Online in there. But Gen Con Twitch streams. So you can just tune in all week, and they should have stuff happening all week on here, showing off new games. I'm assuming as new games are shown off on here, they'll add them to the store, hopefully. That's what I would hope would happen. Because maybe the store is not full of games yet because stuff still has to be unveiled today and throughout the weekend. I don't know. Or maybe they just had trouble getting everything lined up and together last minute. I don't know. All right, so I put it in the description. All right, let's see what's happening in the chat here. You guys have any questions or anything? Oh, the trove chest is going up to 125. Wow. Yeah, that's pricey. I'm sure shipping on it's not going to be cheap either if you're outside the U.S. Matush asks, was going to ask the same. Oh, sorry. Robert's asking, sorry guys, the chat scrolled up and I missed this. I'm scrolling back up to see if stuff was answered. Yeah, campaign mode, clarification. How important is the campaign to the experience? Not that important. If you need a campaign, it adds it. It's not the most advanced campaign I've ever played. I have 2 playthroughs of playing through the campaign. Once 3-player, we played through it on the channel. You'll see all the episodes for that. And I tried it as solo recently on the channel. Playthroughs are there. Go to the playlist section. You'll find that stuff. If you want to see how it all works. I show it off. We play through multiple sessions. But all it does is take a Too Many Bones experience, which is already like a sit-down 2+ hour experience, depending on, you know, how quick you are with the game and whatever. Could be shorter. Could be longer. Depends how many players you have. Each player adds more time to the experience, obviously. But a sit-down session of Too Many Bones, it's an epic experience. It's like sitting down playing a session of Gloomhaven. You're going through different encounters, doing different little tactical... Actually, Gloomhaven, you're just playing like one dungeon kind of when you sit down. Too Many Bones is like, you have encounters. They're quick little sessions where like sometimes you're playing a little dexterity game, sometimes you're playing a combat, sometimes you're making decisions. But it's card after card, giving you encounter after encounter, and you're building up points to eventually fight the boss before time runs out. So you have a limited number of days to get all your encounters done and fight the boss. That's a session. A session is starting out from nothing, building up your gear lock, your character, getting strong enough, making the right decisions on the skills you pick and on your traits and stuff, and then eventually fighting a big boss and building your way towards that and getting through a bunch of enemies on the way. And then it ends. It's done. You beat the boss or you fail, and you put it back in the box. The campaign mode, it just adds a way that during that, if you fail, you can get boons, which help you out. It kind of has like a fluctuating difficulty. It randomly picks the tyrant for you. It messes with the tyrant rules. It messes with the length of the playthrough. It could make it a shorter play or a longer play. Normally, a tyrant has a specific amount of days and encounters you have to get through to fight them. And the difficulty is like a certain balance. But you might flip a card that tells you today's play session is actually going to be longer or shorter, and maybe be a little harder, and you can carry over some of your equipment and skills and stuff from last session and go through this session with that. So if you want to build up your gear lock and try to get a whole bunch of skills and carry them over to the next playthrough, that is the experience you get. And that's what I like to do. I want to build up my gear lock and then build them up again and build them up more and make them stronger and stronger and stronger and make tough choices throughout the campaign and then see if I can get through all 7 tyrants. And you can even do your own custom campaigns now with all other tyrants and stuff. But if you just want a way to like play through each tyrant and kind of spice it up, you don't need it right away. You don't need it right away. I wanted it right away because I came from Gloomhaven. I was looking for another game to give me that big campaign feel, build up my character, upgrade them through each play session. That's kind of what it does a little bit. But you can get scars too that hurt you and make the next play session a little harder. And if you start to fail, it'll give you a boon to help balance that out and help raise you back up. But yeah, you can see me play through them. You can see what I'm talking about more in detail on our live playthroughs of those campaigns of the Age of Tyranny. Just search Too Many Bones, Age of Tyranny, Rob's Gaming Table or something on YouTube. You'll find our playthrough, playlist links, whatever. But it's you don't need it right away. You can play the base set and you can play those sessions, no problem. The campaign is kind of to spice it up. It does what an expansion does. It's like you feel like you've played the base set enough, you need something to spice it up, go get the campaign after that. It's not that important. It's just another way to spice up the game. It also gives you new day 1 to 3 encounters. So when you play the base game, that's one of the pitfalls of the base game. You do the same day 1, 2, and 3 encounters every time to set you up, to get you ready for your campaign. So you know what they're coming. They get boring. You don't even read them. You just kind of like go through the motions and then you get into the real game. But what the campaign expansion Age of Tyranny adds is 7 new day 1, 7 new day 2, and 7 new day 3 encounters that you can shuffle with those base ones. So you have 8 to choose from every time you play for each day. So it changes up those first 3 days. And that was my favorite part of the campaign expansion because it makes every playthrough better, not just when you want to play a campaign. But is that expansion worth it to buy for 21 cards if you're not going to play the campaign part? I don't know. That's up to you. But that's my thoughts on that. So no, it's not that important. It was important for me because of the channel and I like playing campaigns and I love that aspect of games. I feel like ever since the year of like 2017, 2018, every fantasy game like that should have a campaign mode. Like it just should exist. I don't know. That's just me. Any kind of dungeon crawling kind of game should have a campaign mode option. Whether the player uses it or not, it's like just add it in. It's a good selling feature, I think. Oh, Mark was answering. Campaign has cards you reference when you defeat a tyrant. Yeah, it has an epilogue card for every tyrant, and it could possibly give you a reward that you carry forward, that kind of thing. Yep, Corey mentioned. So Corey mentioned the best part of Age of Tyranny is additional more day 1 to 3 cards. Okay, just catching up on the chat. This is exactly what I said. That's cool. Yeah, no problem, Robert. I'm okay about giving information. Again, do your research. Don't go by what I say. I can only give you my experience, but you may have different tastes than me too, right? You may be looking for different things in games. You might get that expansion and be like, this doesn't really add enough. Like, I need more. Like, then and I'm sorry. But I try to tell you the good and the bad from my point of view, but do your research. And with the, like, if you're in the US or Europe and you have that flat rate shipping, you could just buy the core set and consider it like a $10 rental fee that you paid again if you do the shipping again on buying expansions after the fact. Like, I would hate you to spend multiple hundreds of dollars to go all in on Too Many Bones and then find it doesn't hit the table when you could have spent like 130 US, get the core set plus $10 shipping. Try it. If it's your cup of tea and you're having fun and you start playing it and you're like, man, I need more. I need more. I need the variety in this box, more variety. There is a ton in there. But at some point you'll be like, maybe I want to spice it up if you love it. Then you spend $10 more shipping and get the rest. It's not a big deal. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I like to be a little more cautious with games because I have shelves full of games that don't hit the table and I feel like maybe I didn't get my value out of them because I spent way too much on a Kickstarter and I got 4 hours of play out of it and it went back on the shelf and I never played it again. So 4 hours of play for $200 plus shipping, that doesn't sound like a good value to me. So that's how I am. I'm a little more sketchy with it now, especially since doing this YouTube thing full time. Obviously, I'm not living it up over here, trying to be frugal and do this whole time. So I got to be more careful with my money for sure. And I expect the same from you guys too. Unless you have unlimited funds, go get it all. But yeah. How about Mansions of Madness? Should that have a campaign? I would like Mansions of Madness better if it had a campaign, but I have Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth for that. So I don't need Mansions of Madness to have a campaign. Because I have Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth basically made me not care about Mansions of Madness as much anymore. I'll be honest. Like, that is the better version of the game for me because I love Lord of the Rings theme. I love fantasy. I love the adventure aspect to it. The more zoomed out mode, but it also has those zoomed in missions. And I love the way it connects an ongoing story with decision trees and stuff in it. But Mansions of Madness is awesome. But remember, that came out years before, and they've learned from that. So maybe in Mansions of Madness 3rd edition that comes out in so many years, maybe they build that up from the ground up where it's longer stories and they're all connected. Who knows? I don't know. But they already did it in Journeys of Middle-earth, so I don't need Mansions of Madness to have that. It's a different experience. That's just the way I look at it. But yeah, it would be cool to have your Mansion of Madness character keep some of their items, go move on to the next story, like build yourself up, get bigger and better, and the game like progresses in difficulty based on that. But yeah, no, it doesn't have that. So, but yeah. So yeah, just keep the questions coming, guys. If you guys have anything, I'm going to do this for a few more minutes, and then I'll get out of here, and we'll be back for 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight to just talk about things that we saw. I want to go digest some of these streams. I want to go put some of these streams on. I got a video to edit, and I'm going to spend the afternoon just kind of having the Chip Theory Games streams going, and the Gen Con Studio streams going, the FFG streams going. Trying to check out other publishers maybe, keep an eye on Twitter and stuff. But if you guys make a list of games that we should be looking at, anything new you see that might be good for the channel, come back 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight and we'll chat about it. It's just going to be a casual chat like this. Mel will be here and we'll just be looking at games, reading about games, talking about games, just like a casual stream chat. I've scheduled it already. You can set the reminder on the main page for it. Let's see. Camus says, I was sad to see Euthia didn't provide a neoprene mat add-on option for the hexes, although that might be a bit hard. Yeah, that's sometimes you just don't want to do that. The cost would increase. The box is already heavy enough. Like the prototype of Euthia we got was already 15 pounds, and it wasn't even the complete content that is now from the Kickstarter. I don't think adding neoprene mats, it would have been more shipping and more cost. Sometimes you got to trade off. We're like, I'd rather have the more content than the upgraded components. So I think they did the right thing there. And having an option for that, I don't know how many people would actually have gotten in on that. But the cardboard is still high quality. At least the stuff I was playing with was still good. Yeah, my value. Yes, Jim. Too Many Bones and Cloudspire. I was kind enough to get most of that stuff from Chip Theory Games. They provided it as review press copies to me for me to play on the channel and check out. And obviously, I fell in love with those games. Although Too Many Bones, I told them right from the front, I want to play the crap out of that game because after we demoed it, it looked so awesome, and that's why I wanted the campaign. And they were cool to hook us up with the base game and the campaign and everything. But I did go and buy other Gearlocks. I bought Undertow and everything after, and that was thanks to you guys. Some of that was from the fundraiser we did to get Undertow. I appreciated that at the time because that's when I just started doing this full time, and I didn't really have too many funds for that stuff. But I did go and buy some other stuff after that. I will be buying if I can't get a review copy of Splice and Dice or find it in Canada. I don't know. I gotta wait till it comes in stock, I guess. But yeah, I'm all about the Chip Theory stuff so far that I've played. And I wanted to play Hoplomachus. I'm glad I waited on it because they're going to reboot it next year, so I'm not upset about not having that game. I'm looking forward to playing the refined version later next year. And I'm so excited this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, to find out what their Kickstarter 2020 project is. So come back for that live stream too. That's we'll watch that together as like a watch party. New Pathfinder stuff. For Pathfinder, the RPG, Hexy? Started collecting since Shadowed Paths. It's not available in UK right now. HexyB says, I'm going to be doing my digital Spirit Island vid as it went 1.0 today. Oh, nice. Veljko says, I need Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth playmat. Cannot find it anywhere. I had trouble trying to find that playmat. We got it. We got the Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth playmat. I knew it would be hard to find. I made sure to get that as soon as I saw it in the stock of my FLGS. And I knew it went out of stock and no one could find it. And like 6 months later, I was in a board game store. Just randomly, I was in a mall, walked by a board game store, and they had like 4 of them sitting in the front window, just collecting dust sitting there. I was like shocked to see that. I doubt they're still there, but that was 7 or 8 months ago. But I was shocked to see that playmat was just like sitting there in a store available and no one can find them anywhere. But yeah, I thought it was weird. And no, that store does not have an online store. Let's see here. Oh, the card game. Pathfinder Adventure card game. I've never gotten into that game. I have like the digital version, but I just never even played it. I bought it to try out, and then I just never got into it. And I saw they rebooted the core set, and then it was out of stock forever, and I couldn't find it. And it just, I don't know if it looks like my type of game or not. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of gives me vibes of like the Kill Force series, right? Like a bunch of decks that you're like trying to drill through to find things. Am I wrong in that? I don't know. But it looks cool, but it's just like, I'm not sure if it's for me. Second edition is different. Oh, okay. Yogi Bear is asking, all in for Massive Darkness 2.0 or the new FFG Descent or both? Maybe both. I passed on the first Massive Darkness because all I heard was it was kind of like a twist on Zombicide, and it was supposedly not as well received, and people were telling me it was kind of meh. So I was afraid to put all my money in on that and buy it, so I passed on it. Now I see they're doing a second version, supposedly changing up the rule set. It's kind of like a different game, but just using the same name of Massive Darkness. So I don't know if it's going to be completely different and kind of draw me in, but I'm curious to see. I'm interested, but I'll wait till the Kickstarter comes and I'll do my research and decide then. But I'm interested in Massive Darkness 2 if they've learned from what's been happening in the industry and aren't just repackaging the same game over and over again like they did with Zombicide. If it's actually something new and has improved and leveled itself up to be something that interested me, not just more of the same, I will definitely look into Massive Darkness 2. But if it's just a box full of minis with meh gameplay and meh design, I'm sorry. Like, I don't need a 2012 game with 2020 art, like, and 2020 miniatures. I need a game with 2020 gameplay, 2020 rule set. Like, give me what the industry's learned. Like, improve your games. That's one thing that CMON doesn't seem to be doing, and that's why I'm just like not as interested in their stuff as I used to be. But yeah. And the FFG Descent game, again, FFG, hopefully they've learned from what's been going on in the industry, the Gloomhavens of the world and the other big games like that, the other Kickstarters, the Oathsworns, and all these crazy games that everyone's excited about. I hope FFG is paying attention to that and they realize what people want nowadays in a fantasy, dungeon crawling, whatever type of game Descent is now. I hope they've learned from that and they put that into their game and even try to improve on that. Not just make Descent 3rd edition. Don't give me more Descent the same way. Like, improve that game. And I hope they do. Yeah, Buell. Yeah, Massive Darkness 2 is supposed to be a lot of changes, but I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I need to see it first. I want to look through a rule book. I don't care about the miniatures. I don't need more boxes of plastic weighing down my Kalak shelf collecting dust. I need a game that hits the table. This is what my issue with the industry and some of these companies that have just been pumping out meh games on Kickstarter with amazing miniatures. How many amazing boxes of miniatures do you need? I need amazing games. But that's me. All right. I do like Zombicide. I fell in love with Zombicide at the beginning, but we played it so much, and then I spent hundreds of dollars on the next Zombicide. And it was like, okay, more of the same. Then I played the next Zombicide, more of the same. The next Zombicide, more of the same. They were just 10 scenarios, a bunch of miniatures, and I'm moving them around on a board rolling dice. I've just grown as a player, and the industry has grown, that I feel like my Zombicide needs to come out with some new additions. Because if I just wanted to play a game of moving miniatures on a board and rolling dice, I could pull out my original Zombicide or my Zombicide Black Plague. I needed new stuff. That's the problem with Zombicide. They've just been repackaging the same game over and over again. And lazy scenario design. Like, I'm playing the same missions 8 years later in a Zombicide that feel like the same missions I played in the very first Zombicide I got 8 years ago or whatever. It's just, they're not improving it. There's no like campaigns, none of that stuff. It's just like design a whole bunch of plastic, a whole bunch of game tiles, put it in the box, whip out 10 quick scenarios that are the same as the last 10 scenarios you played, run around, flip objective tokens, and run back to a hex or a spot on the map and get out. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be too negative, but that's my feeling on Zombicide now. It's just meh. I've played so many other games that have just improved and made me look at things in a different way That the Zombicide is like not enough anymore. It's fun though. It is fun. It's rolling dice, shooting zombies, and it's great. I love having some players around the table, having some beers, playing Zombicide. Don't get me wrong. But it's not something I'm like, man, I can't wait to play Zombicide again. I can't wait. Like I'm not as excited as I used to be. But I still have fun playing it. Don't get me wrong there. Yeah, there's too many games come out. There's like too many games come out every day. I need amazing games. I need those gems in the pile of garbage. I need to find those gems. That's like what my goal is. And I already have so many awesome games. I need a game to really be awesome to add to my collection. That's the idea. Or do something different. But yeah, too much repackaged stuff is coming out all the time, I feel like. Let's see, we got some Madara talk here. Oh, Mark's saying Madara is supposed to be shipped to backers in September, October. I supposedly have a copy coming to me when that happens. Supposedly. We'll see. Hopefully it comes to the channel. But Madara looks pretty cool. That should be coming eventually. Let's see. Yeah, Zombicide Invader did add some cool twists. But it took 8 years to figure out to add those tiny little twists. Like, I don't know. It still felt like playing Zombicide, though. It felt like I was playing the exact same game I've always played. It did not feel new and fresh. It had some good revisions, but... Death May Die replaced Zombicide mostly for me unless I want a horde of minis. Death May Die looks cool. That's a game I do want to try at some point. Let's see here. Bones says something that I've been feeling too. He stopped buying games now if they have a ton of minis. I figured that might happen for some people because like you buy these boxes full of minis and the price tag is so high. That's like if you just want to play a new board game, like do you need to pay for more minis? Like I don't know. And I understand that's what the whole Monolith thing was trying to do was find a way to not have to rebuy all the miniatures all the time or something like that they were trying to do, but that failed. But yeah. Brian says his kids love Dead of Winter. Yeah, Dead of Winter is a cool game. It's definitely a cool game. I want to play that again on the channel eventually. Yeah, Dead of Winter is an interesting game. It's definitely an interesting game. I would probably love Death May Die. I think I would, Mark. I think I would. This is the problem, but I'm just trying to avoid Kickstarters at the time when that was on Kickstarter. And did that hit retail? I need to find that out, actually. Let's find out. Oh, it did. But it's sold out, of course. $100 Canadian. Sold out. Yeah, it's a problem. That's a problem. Bones just sold Death May Die too. I would just buy it at retail. That's what I do with most of the Cool Mini Not games now. I see them on Kickstarter and I go, you know what? I don't need all that fluff. I probably will play the game a few times and then never play it again. So like I'll just wait for the retail box that has enough in it to get those few plays out of. I don't need expansion box after expansion box to play the same game and need that variety because by the time I get that game on Kickstarter, I already have a whole bunch of other games that have shown up. And I'll just buy it if it's a good game at retail. That also gives me the time to find out if other people play it and it's any good. Sorry, just trying to add it to my wish list here to investigate later. Okay, done. Oops, sorry. Okay, let's see. Roy asks, have you ever tried Abomination, Heir of Frankenstein? No, I haven't. That was like a popular game at last year's Gen Con or maybe the year before. It's by Plaid Hat Games, right? I don't know if that game is now going to be owned under Asmodee, since Plaid Hat is now separated from Asmodee, but has lost access to a lot of their IPs. So I don't know if Frankenstein's now owned by Asmodee or if it's owned by Plaid Hat, but I've not played it, but I've heard good things. Good game, lots of fun. The only one right now my fiance will play. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about Abomination. I saw it at Gen Con that year, but I just never got the time to like try it out. And Successful Geek is correct. How's it going? He does say the truth here. And come on, games. Cool Mini or Not games. Come to retail before Kickstarter backers get theirs anyway. Especially in Canada. I've backed so many Cool Mini or Not Kickstarters, and I don't have it. And it's at all the retail stores in Canada. And all the US has already got their pledges, and the retailers all got it. And in Canada, it's all on the stocked on the shelves and on all the retailers. And I still am waiting like another month till I get my copy. So I used to back Cool Mini or Not Kickstarters thinking I'll get it fast. I'll be able to learn the game, play it on my channel, and be able to show it off to help other people who might have not backed it and buy it at retail know whether the game's any good or not. But the problem is I wouldn't get my copies, so I stopped. There's another reason I stopped backing them, because then I don't pay shipping. I just go to my local game store. I pay less than it was on Kickstarter, and I don't pay the shipping, and I support my local game store, and I don't have to buy all the extra Kickstarter fluff. Like, Kickstarter exclusives are fluff. They're a waste of money, especially with those Cool Mini or Not games, because half of them don't even hit the table. I don't use some of the upgraded components though, like Rising Sun and stuff. Those are cool, but when it's just a whole another box of miniatures, and I haven't even used all the miniatures in the base box, and I played the game 10 times, I don't. Why do I need that extra box of stretch goal Kickstarter exclusive stuff? I don't know. That's just my thought on it now. I feel just kind of bummed out about the whole thing. It's like I just don't bother participating in that stuff now. Yep, Mark saying, come on, games tripling cost during their Kickstarter is too aggravating. Yep, just wait. If it's a good enough game, you'll find it at retail. You'll find it at retail. And you'll spend like $100 or less, and you'll get enough game that you'll get your money's worth. You play it, and then the next Kickstarter will arrive, and you play that. Like, there's no reason to get all that Cool Mini or Not content for a game, because it's not going to be the only game you're playing. It will just be stuff collecting dust on your shelf. That's the truth. Unless it's like the only game you buy for the whole year and you play the crap out of it. That's all right. Or if you're a miniatures collector and you paint, I can see the value in buying those boxes of miniatures. That would be cool too. But Successful Geek says, I've never followed through with backing a Come On game. I backed day one, super excited, but by the end they pissed me off so much I cancel. I just stopped even looking at them anymore. I just wait till I see new games come in retail and then I look. Like, so, what was the other game? Like, I want Bloodborne, the board game, but I'll wait till I see it in my store, my local game store, and I'll start searching for reviews and I'll start reading forums and looking for people's impressions to see if it's even worth my time at that point. And if you guys are telling me it's that awesome, so I'll go look into it then, but I don't need to put my money up front on a game where I don't even know if it's any good at all, and pay extra for it on the price tag. The exchange rate's usually not great, and I have to pay like out the mouth shipping or whatever, like pay out the in shipping to get it to Canada, and then I don't even get it before the local store gets it. So it's like, it's just not fun. Oh, you paid that much in shipping? Wow. I don't know how to say your name, Marcio. But yeah, you pay like $160 to $200 US shipping. Where are you shipping it to? I'm curious. That's craziness. Yeah, Yogi Bear is correct. Massive Darkness 2 could be garbage pretty easily. I'm going to wait to see. And if I back it, I'm probably only backing Massive Darkness 2 at like the base pledge to get the core set. And whatever box of stretch goals they add to that. But that's like, that's as far as I'm going. I don't think I'll add on any expansions or anything. I'll just buy those at retail later if the game's any good. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do a stream. Does anyone know when the date for that Kickstarter is for Massive Darkness 2? I know it's coming soon. I assume it's after Gen Con. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, hello, Mel. Finally finished my work calls. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just rambling on. The Looking Glass was not that great, Mel. I'll show you after. The web store, Board Game Geek, Gen Con's website has only like 55 board games. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like any of them are really the new hotness. It has like one in the new release section. So I'm a little upset about that. But I think they're supposed to add games throughout the week as they're unveiled and shown off and stuff. But yeah, I'll show you after we're done the live stream here. I was not impressed. Looking Glass is like, it's no dealer hall, that's for sure. Doesn't even link you to their store to buy games from that publisher. It's really stupid. Yeah. Let's see. August 4th is Massive Darkness Kickstarter Day. That is this coming Tuesday. Okay. I'll try to find out the time that launches, and maybe we'll do a live stream like this and kind of go through it live and discuss it. And I expect some players there that hopefully have played the first version of the game and can fill me in, because I've never played Massive Darkness. It's something I just decided to pass on and not go back to. And hopefully Massive Darkness 2 makes a better game, but we'll see. Hans says, Death May Die surprised me also. Not bad at all, but I don't know if I'll still play it in some years from now. That's fine. That's fine. As long as a game, when it comes to your door, is still relevant. That's the problem with Kickstarter. Sometimes you get excited for a game and it doesn't come out for 2 years plus. And by the time it comes out, there's already better stuff out there that you'd rather play, and that game's not as exciting anymore. That's the problem with Kickstarter. That's why I avoid it a lot of times. Because I can go to retail and probably buy a game around before that one comes to my door and it's better. Or a previous Kickstarter that finally delivered or something. It's weird. It's very weird to me. Oh, 3 p.m. Eastern it starts? Okay, good to know, Yogi Bear. Thank you. Awesome. But with Death May Die, it's a $100 game. If I get it to my table and I get like 20 hours out of game out of that, that's worth it to me. That's worth it to me. If I enjoy it that much that it like I play it for 15, 20 hours or so, but if that $100 game I only play it one time and it goes on the shelf and I'm not really interested in it, that feels like a waste of money. That feels like a huge waste of money. Buell says, I have Massive Darkness and I've played it some. I'll try to be in the stream. Okay, cool. That's okay, Buell, if you're not. Like, I just don't know. Maybe, you know what? I'll do some research ahead of time too. I'll try to watch some like playthroughs or some reviews of Massive Darkness, or some how to play videos if they exist, or even just read some of the rule book just to understand like what the comparison is there, and maybe find out like, you know, what has changed. Oh, you're from Brazil. Paid US $203 on Bloodborne all in shipping. Awaken Realms Kickstarter, it's around 50 to 60. But Come On is kind of hard to join because of this. Oh, wow. That is crazy. Now, does Come On games show up in board game stores and retail in Brazil? Is that an easy thing to get later? Or is Kickstarter like the only way to get those games? But yeah, that's what I was getting at, Hans, was like, if you're not going to play, you buy Cthulhu Death May Die, and you play it over 2 months, you play it with your board game group every couple weeks, or you put it on the table, you play it all over a weekend, you play the crap out of it, and you play it for like 12 hours over that weekend. That's a good deal. And if you put it back on your shelf and don't play it after that, that's still fine. I think that's still okay. And if you pull it out later, 6 months down the road, and then you never pull it out again after that, that's fine. Not every board game is going to stay relevant 2-3 years from now. So you don't always have to buy a game going, will I be playing that in 5 years? No, I'm not going to buy it then. That's the way I think you got to look at it. Think of it like a movie or a video game. How many video games you buy and just play through and you're like, okay, that was a cool story, or that I'm done with that, or, you know, I'll pull it out again every month or so, or that movie, I watched it, it was fun. I spent 3 hours watching it, spent $50 on popcorn and gas and my movie ticket and my date and whatever it's like to watch a 2-hour movie. Will I watch that again ever? I don't know. But that's how I kind of look at board games. There's just so many coming out, and each one better give me a good experience and get a little, like a few hours out of to make it worth the money. That's the way I look at it. And that's why games like Gloomhaven blow you out of the water. They're like $100 I spent on Gloomhaven. The $100 I spent on Gloomhaven at the time, how many hours I got out of that freaking game, how many sessions with Justin and Mel or just Mel that we had super fun playing on the stream, not on the stream, playing it with my daughter, playing it with Kyle off stream, teaching him, just showing people the fun of Gloomhaven and having fun trying the different scenarios and all the different classes. Like all of that for 100. That's the problem when I see a come on game and it's like, how much am I getting out of that core set? How much am I getting out of that core set that I would back on Kickstarter, pay more than the retail cost, pay shipping? You know, you have to compare against that stuff now. That's the problem. And not every game has to be as big as Gloomhaven. I do not expect that at all. I do not want that at all. That would be too much. Because not every game is fun enough to put 120 hours into, right? That's the other thing. And solo play. Yep, solo play. Yeah, I've never played City of Kings. I don't have it, no. Yeah, I don't have City of Kings. It's a game I want to get eventually, but I don't have it. It looked interesting, though, the year it came out. I remember looking at City of Kings going, oh, that looks cool. Something I want to get on the channel eventually. Rory says, Gloomhaven is my jam. Yes. But it's hard, Rory. You're going to be comparing a lot of games now going forward against Gloomhaven. And just understand that some games might have better components, but the gameplay might not be there, and you got to be okay with getting it and maybe only playing a game for 10 hours. That's just for that price of $100. That's just how it is now. Okay. All right. I should go get some lunch and go digest some streams and information. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for watching and hanging out with me when I'm just doing what I do here, browsing Gen Con the best we can when we can't be at the convention in person. But I appreciate all your time here hanging out with me live. More of you here than I expected. But if you have any questions, join our stream later tonight, 7:30 Eastern. We're just going to be doing this, but talking about anything Gen Con, anything that you've seen at Gen Con, any events you tried, any new game announcements from any publishers you found. I'm going to be scouring Twitter. I'm going to be scouring Facebook. I'm going to be scouring board game groups, trying to find any new games that were announced today to discuss. And if you see anything you think should be on the channel that was just announced or announced in the last week or so, let me know. Bring it to the stream tonight and we'll look it up. We'll bring it up on screen. We'll read about it. It's just going to be a casual couple-hour stream with Mel and I. And we'll be talking about the FFG announcements from yesterday that we didn't get to talk about in the stream since it crashed and everything for FFG and we didn't get to watch the rest of their presentation. And anything else. Just anything else related that you might be interested in. If there's new information about Massive Darkness that comes out today or something, we'll talk about that. Like anything you guys think you want to bring. Just bring it down later. I'm going to spend the rest of the day being a fanboy and just watching Chip Theory streams, watching FFG streams. Maybe not FFG because I think they only have X-Wing happening today and not really following X-Wing nowadays. But yeah, I'll just be looking for different live stream events and checking out Twitter and going to some publishers I like and trying to see what they're showing off now. And yeah, and ordering wings and pizza. Rory, stop. You guys are awesome. And hey, Mark. Yeah, order enough pizza and wings for everyone, Rory. But thank you everyone for joining. I'll catch you guys in, I don't know, what time is it? 5.5 hours. We'll see you back here in 5.5 hours. We'll discuss anything you saw and some games and stuff, and it should be some fun. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.